On March 2, 2006, the Bush administration dealt yet another blow to our First Amendment rights. 6 animal activists were convicted on federal felonies for advocating the closure of an animal testing lab. They face years in federal prison. A contract research lab with 1 facility in New Jersey and 2 in England, Huntington Life Sciences, HLS, was exposed in 5 undercover investigations for sloppy, fraudulent science and numerous violations of the Animal Welfare Act.
Oh, get out! I'm really getting fucking mad with you! Every fucking time point!
Come here, Robert. There's like no skin here to touch. I know.
Since 1999, Stop Huntington Animal Cruelty, SHAC, has campaigned globally against HLS.
You have a bunch of really hardcore animal rights activists from SHAC who are here protesting Huntington Life Sciences, and we're here to make sure that this place is going to be put down, closed down until there's no more animals in these cages, not one single animal left, and we won't be happy until it's over.
Shutting down Huntington may be controversial, but it's necessary. When history looks back on this movement and this campaign 20 years from now, it'll be regarded no differently than the civil rights movement, than the women's rights movement, trying to end sweatshop labor. It's people, animal rights people are people acting from their conscience, from their heart, and are trying to do something for animals. We're not violent, we're not terrorists, we're trying to end the real violence in those labs. Dogs being punched in the face is the crime.
On May 26, 2004, a New Jersey federal grand jury indicted 7 SHAC activists and the organization SHAC USA under the Animal Enterprise Protection Act, a never-before-applied law designed to protect profit-generating animal industries.
How dare they suggest that allowing people to know what's going on within these facilities constitutes terrorism? That is grotesque. Extreme violence is going on within the facilities, and that should not be protected. The speech should be protected that lets people know what's going on. If that law was in effect when Martin Luther King was engaged in his activities, he and all of his followers would have been in jail for the rest of their lives, because they brought down a lot of powerful interests and caused economic damage to people. And that is a horrendous law. It's too vague. It's unconstitutionally vague. It's chilling on First Amendment rights. They haven't killed anyone. They haven't maimed anybody. They've not committed violence, but they're being bracketed with terrorists. And that's what's unfair about the law. It segregates them out because the government doesn't particularly like their message or their cause. You have animals that are subjected to grotesque abuse, so grotesque that you don't even want to think about it. And these people who are perpetrating this abuse want all the protection. They want the government to protect what they're doing and to protect their income. And that is flat out wrong.
No one talks about in the media either the terrorism that happens against us. No one talks about, Jill Phipps or Thomas Warby or any of the animal liberationists who've been killed in cold blood. No one talks about New Mexico 4 years ago when somebody took a rifle and started firing shots into an animal rights office. We don't hear about these things.
Like the fear-mongering tactics of Senator McCarthy during the Red Scare era, the emerging Green Scare tactics employed by Senator James Inhofe brand animal and earth activists as the biggest domestic terror threats facing the U.S.
Compassion is seen as something abnormal rather than violence. And you see how violent our worldview is when those people who speak against it from compassion are ridiculed or in today's context are called terrorists. And the greatest perversion, the worst doublespeak ever created yet, to call people who fight for the earth and for the animals, for them to be called terrorists, when the real terrorists are the people who are raping the planet and destroying billions of lives.
Our country used to be dedicated to the proposition that civil rights, the right to speak, is a paramount right in this country. Now, the right to make money is the most important right. Now, corporations get protection, and the First Amendment gets very little.
A capitalist economy that is devouring all living things for its obsessive growth imperatives. And as we build democracy and we build awareness about ecology and animal rights, we begin to gain the power that we need to reconstruct our world. And our world will never heal. We will never heal this crisis, this sickness in our soul, until we fundamentally redefine our relationships with animals.
They're going way beyond the ethics of most people and to a very sublime height. And the government is trying to prevent them from doing that. Why? Because it threatens people's ability to make money.